But we're gonna get it started, man. What you guys think? 1 second. Chrome. All right. Okay. Let me know if you guys can see it and hear it.
I invested a lot of money into buying this building, into developing this concept, so black people can have somewhere nice to go to, okay? Somewhere where we can feel good about ourselves as a, come on, stop the music, please. Somewhere where our people can feel good about ourselves as a culture, okay? No, real talk. And so all this twerking and shit, take it to Prime, take it to Pink, don't bring it here because we're a restaurant. And so beyond that, 75% of my customers are ladies. And I want men to show respect for themselves for how they carry themselves here. So how can I tell the men to respect themselves and you guys are twerking on my ass? If you want to do it, get the fuck out of my restaurant. Because I did it for our people and I did it for our culture. So don't do it again. I don't want to hear it. If you don't like it, get out because I don't need your money. I need to provide something for my people. And don't do it again. Thank you.
Have you guys saw that video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so it has some age to it, but there was a lot of mixed reactions about him trying to protect his business. His delivery. Now, there's a little bit of context. Apparently, I didn't see the entire video and I couldn't find it, but it was said that he went to that table a couple times, before addressing them and essentially the entire room as such. I believe they're in Dallas as well. So, Sean, how do you feel about his delivery? What he was saying, so on and so forth.
I have no problem with it. Because, like he said take it to Prime. They wouldn't have been doing that in Prime or Ruth Chris or nothing like that. So they're showing a lack of respect for his establishment. And if he's not running it as a lounge, bar, club, dance, twerk in the aisles, and if he's strict about his policies, then they got to respect it. I have no problem with his delivery whatsoever.
Okay. Q?
I agree with Sean. He I don't think he really said anything in a way that was disrespectful. He's basically putting his foot down. They came at him with the disrespect to begin, especially if that's probably the third, fourth, or fifth time he had to go and address that particular issue. So I'm with him on that.
Yeah. Alex?
Lord. I do feel like it is his restaurant, so he has the right to have whoever he wants to have in there. However, as a business owner, there's a way to do things, and that conversation didn't need to be a conversation for everyone else in the restaurant to hear or be a part of. If they were being unruly, then you can go ahead and call your backup, whatever you need to do. But what I thought was weird, because I remember when this video came out, was the DJ piece. And then you're surprised that people are dancing. Now, the twerking, don't be standing on my stuff. That's a different story. But I guess I'm a little confused why he was confused why they were dancing. Granted, I didn't see the whole video, the extended video, but I'm just a little bit confused why he's surprised that the drinks are flowing, people are up here dancing because you have the DJ. I'm just surprised.
So you were surprised at his reaction?
Let me not say surprised. I'm confused why he's surprised that they're dancing in the restaurant. I don't know if his issue is the way that they're dancing. I don't know if the issue, again, didn't see the whole video, is that they were standing on his furniture. I'm not really clear about what the issue is because we don't have the whole video in itself.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So they were on the top of the tables and they were twerking, right? A lot of people had comments that said, the music that was being played, right? I guess it was twerking-esque music. So a lot of them said that he should have reprimanded the DJ.
I don't buy that because if you go to a white tablecloth restaurant and they're playing slow jazz music, do you get up and hand dance? Do you get up and slow dance with your somebody special? No. So the music being played, I don't think has anything to do with whether somebody should feel like they should dance or not. It's no dance floor.
Mm.
And people are eating their food at a restaurant.
Mm-hmm. I saw one comment where someone said that he shouldn't have addressed the people, but maybe somebody sitting aside them should have addressed them. I thought that was kind of far fetched.
Yeah.
You know. Now I might say something, but I'm probably already annoyed, so my delivery probably gonna be even worse.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Now, Alex,
Mm-hmm.
question: why? Sometimes we do reference like his delivery.
Mm-hmm.
What about the people's misconduct? Right?
Right.
Like, is that the first? Like, who we reprimanded first? Is it him, or is it people that are out of line and twerking?
That's a good question. I mean, I'm only going off of what I've seen. And when I think of his delivery, I think of, you are a business owner. We are in the room of social media. So because people don't have full context, they're going to go in there and you're going to have a lot of people, or maybe divide, because we are in the room of cancel culture. He's inviting himself to a lot of criticism that he may not have had the conversation not have escalated to where it did. And like you mentioned, he may have been annoyed. This probably wasn't his first time having the conversation with them, but I definitely feel like, something, if you felt like they weren't listening to or respecting you, I think that's the time to, something, let me go ahead and get someone else in to see if they can get out. Because were they all drunk? Was it just one of them? Inappropriate? I don't know. I don't know. However, me personally, I like to think I'm a party of one sometimes.
All right, so check 2 1.
I might move. I'm not getting on anybody's table. That's just inappropriate on all regards. However, there's a time and place for things. But then I also, just as a business owner, for him, it just wasn't a good look. It just wasn't a good look.
Do you think that he could have called the police or taken it a lot further than what he did?
I don't know. I feel like as he has the right as a business owner to protect his establishment. And if he felt that after repeated attempts, they didn't leave, and him not wanting to, step out of character, out of line, and keep his decorum, I think he should have then maybe, I'm going to call the police to have you escorted out. However, we do know as Black people, and again, in the realm of social media, what one's intent is can definitely be twisted with the aim of social media and people posting it and saying it wasn't necessary, it wasn't this, then the third. Again, I'm just still confused why, if drinks are flowing, again, I don't know the establishment, if drinks are flowing and you have a live DJ, why are you surprised that this is a situation that may occur and may happen?
I think what it sounds like is that it kind of pissed him off that they were dancing on his furniture. Like he had mentioned, he invested a lot of money into the restaurant. Mm-hmm. So I think that's kind of what pissed him off, is seeing all the hard work that he put into that being treated like shit. And these women conducting themselves like they ain't got no home training and no good sense. Mm-hmm. So it sounded like he, in a sense, tried to work with them by going several times to the table. And then in the end, he might have been frustrated, but he still didn't kick them out necessarily, from what I understand, nor did he call the cops to have them removed. Mm-hmm. So I just think we live in a time where we're extremely sensitive when it comes to things like that. And then everybody blew it up and tried to come to the defense of the customer, citing that he, is a business owner and should have been a little bit more professional. Mm-hmm. As a Black woman, just knowing it's almost like, and I hate the stereotype, it's almost like temper is a part of our birthright. Mm-hmm. I don't think I would have handled that situation that way. So I give him mad props.
Yeah. I didn't have a problem with his delivery. But I prefer deliveries like that, because you know exactly where someone's coming from. Mm-hmm. And what made his delivery so bad? Was because he said a curse word?
I feel like it was just the yelling, and that could just be a personal thing. I don't respond to the yelling because I think it's just bringing more attention. But the attention was obviously on them if you're on my furniture, and I do agree with Q on that. He handled it better than I think I would have, especially if it's my own personal stuff. And again, if I've But the background is that, he's told them several times and they still chose not to do as asked. I can't guarantee how I would have acted. But I just think of, I'm not a business owner, but I think of, and I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong. I just think that I'm sure now people are looking like, you saw how that business owner was acting. That wasn't necessarily appropriate. I want to boycott. Because we live in this realm, people are always looking for a reason to cancel. And I hope that this wasn't a situation where people were trying to avoid going to his establishment because of how he came off. You and I, we all understand it, what his sentiment was. However, everyone else may not.
Now, question. Did you say asked or asked?
What do you mean?
How do you spell it now? ASKED, but it sounded like you said asked.
Like in the previous sense, like he asked them.
Like spell it for me. Spell it for me.
I'll do it. Next.
He gave him the axe.
Don't do it.
I wasn't sure, man.
He gave him the axe.
Talking like a sixth grader.
Don't do that.
So Fishbowl Convo says he matched a level of disrespect and they didn't like it. 3 peace signs, right? I guess, Alex, your point is his level of decorum should not change regardless of the conduct of his patrons.
Yes. I just think as a business owner, you just have to, you're going to get crazy people that come in. And I say that having had worked in a restaurant myself, being a waitress, no matter what, I don't believe the bullshit of the customer is always right. However, I still have to maintain myself to the best of my ability in a professional manner.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a firm believer that the customer is always right, but the customer is always the customer. Mm-hmm. So I think there's something to be said for that. Hey, Ish, welcome to the show. Did you see the video? You may have seen it previously. There was a restaurant in Dallas where it's a sit-down restaurant. I don't know if it was white tablecloth, but it seems decently high-end, owned by a black man. And they had a DJ that was playing some music that they chose to twerk to, and he addressed them and really addressed the crowd, and reprimanded them, used a couple explicitives during the process of reprimanding them and telling them to sit down. He let them know that he created this restaurant for his people to have somewhere decent to go. He also cited that his clientele was 75% women, and that how do they expect respect if they don't have respect for themselves and they can't respect the establishment? What's your thought?
I don't know if I have a thought yet. I've heard about it. I haven't seen the video, so I don't know how bad it was just by what you're saying.
Yeah, I can play it again. So I want you to get all the context.
Okay.
How was work?
CPS, man.
Yeah. Here we go. Let me find this one more time. Plus, as the viewers join, it might even make sense anyway.
I invested a lot of money into buying this building, into developing this concept, so black people can have somewhere nice to go to, okay? Somewhere where we can feel good about ourselves as a, come on, stop the music, please. Somewhere where our people can feel good about ourselves as a culture, okay? Yeah. No, real talk. And so all this twerking and shit, take it to crime, take it to pink, don't bring it here because we're a restaurant. And so beyond that, 75% of my customers are ladies. And I'm on men to show respect for themselves for how they carry themselves here. So how can I tell the men to respect themselves and you guys are twerking on glass here? If you want to do it, get the fuck out of my restaurant. Because I did it for our people and I did it for our culture. So don't do it now. Don't do it again. I don't want to hear it. If you don't like it, get out because I don't need your money. I need to provide something for my people. And don't do it again. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
He just sounds like a passionate man. I mean, he had a purpose. He had a vision of what he wanted, and that wasn't what his vision was. I agree with him, honestly.
Okay.
I think part of it too may be him not just addressing the people that were causing that infraction, but to the whole establishment, like at the same time. And his tone had to be loud enough for everybody to hear him clearly, so nobody took it as a slight that somebody else was twerking and they get to do it 20, 30 minutes later because he walked away. I think his tone dictated the pace to say, "Hey, just so we clear, everybody in here, I'm talking to y'all. You know, not just the table that was doing whatever they were doing."
Yeah. I guess it's kind of like, right, like they were doing wrong, and now like a law, a precedent, or a rule gets set. Like, okay, anybody else does this,
Yeah.
right? Not just the people who were in the wrong. You know, I think our society just has a problem with directness and being forward, right? And I just don't understand why it's like that at this juncture. Like, it's just so like every anything is offensive, and then people get to call people bullies and reference people incorrectly because you're direct.